Hola, amigos, and welcome to Spain Impossible. I am your host, Jim. This is the Fat Loss After 50 podcast. This is step number 10. I know 8 and 9 were all about fasting, and step number 10 is further down the path. I am starting week 25. I am down 70, a little over 70 pounds. Yeah, man. Oh, almost 3/4 of the way to the goal. In fact, that is probably going to be over the next 2 weeks. I'll be 75 pounds down. I am on the road now, so I'm doing what I can. The first month or so, I was spending a lot of time setting up, trying to figure out, how to stow things in my vehicle and getting used to being a driver on the road as opposed to being at home and working an office job. So, step 10. What is step 10 about? Step 10, I'm on my Swiss ball here, so if I shake around a little bit, that's why. um, Step 10 is all about stepping back into life, let's say. For 20, well, started about week 22. Um, my wife and I wanted to have a dinner out. And step 10 is about reintroducing things. So 22 weeks. No, I didn't do any fast food, didn't do anything that I didn't cook or make myself. Um, and I was home for the weekend, and my wife says, I want Panda Express. And I said, okay. I said, we can figure that out, and went on their menu online. Shout out to Panda Express. I wish they had some plant-based protein, which they do not, but that's okay. I get plenty of protein. I'm not worried about my protein content, so that wasn't the issue. The issue was more, I wanted something that was meat-free. And so what we settled on, I'm honestly shocked that my wife went for this, because my wife is not on this. My wife has not embraced the whole food plant-based diet at all. She has not embraced the blueprint. She has not tried to lose any weight. She's not trying to diet, any of that kind of stuff. So I was kind of shocked when I suggested it, and she's like, yeah, I could go for that. And what we did was we got a large container of the fried rice, just the fried rice, which does have some egg in it, so a little bit of animal protein in there. Remember, I'm trying to stick to one meal a week or two. Sorry about that. Uh, Bug just flew in my mouth while I was talking. Um, so I'm trying to stick to basically one meal a week with any kind of animal protein in it. That's it. Everything else is plant-based: fruits, veggies, beans, legumes, soy-based, plant-based proteins, any of those kinds of things. And so we did a large thing of the fried rice, and we did a large thing of their chow mein noodles. Now, I didn't even know you could do this. I thought you had to get the bowl or the plate or whatever, but digging through their menu, I was like, oh, a la carte. You can get just the fried rice and just the chow mein noodles. And the chow mein noodles have something really good in it called cabbage. And the fried rice has peas and carrots. I mean, it's a nominal amount. It's not like it's a fantastic vegetarian dinner, but we could go out to dinner. We could do what I needed to do and step outside of everything being prepared at home or in the truck or whatever. And of course, whenever you get Chinese food, I don't know if you're like we are, but you gotta have a couple of crab rangoons in there too. So the cheese obviously is an animal protein, and if there is indeed any crab in the crab rangoons, there's that minute amount that they put in there. That's a little bit of animal protein in there too. So, anyways, a meal, but that sparked my interest in, okay, what other restaurants can I find that we can use as an alternative and keep me where I want to be and keep me continuing to lose weight. And I started looking into it. And there are many restaurants, even the fast food restaurants, that offer something, maybe not as a typical meal, but as something that you can a la carte or, whatever. And of course, the burrito places come to mind, Qdoba, Chipotle, and Moe's. all offer a vegetarian option. Each one has a different vegetarian protein if you want the vegetarian protein. Moe's, I think, has tofu, and I can't remember. Qdoba, I think, has the plant-based chicken, maybe, and chipotle. I might have that backwards. Anyways, you can look at their menu online or in their apps. Um, but it's a great option for continuing to be whole food plant-based and stepping outside, getting back into the world. I lost quite a bit of weight in September. A little shocking, actually, from being on the road for almost the entire month of September, with the exception of a couple days off. And it's a very different schedule. It's all over the place. It's never, hey, I know exactly what's happening and, planned out. But that's what step 10 is about. You have to start reintroducing yourself to things outside of your home in terms of the food, and um, making smart choices. We've been building these habits of fiber, you know, not carbohydrates, fiber. What am I getting in fiber? And also, trying to find healthy fats. Now, granted, Panda Express, their fried rice and their chow mein noodles, that's probably a standard knockoff vegetable oil or whatever. It's a restaurant quality thing. It's not going to be, olive oil or avocado oil or any of those kinds of things. So you got to take a little bit of the good with the bad. But if you can make good decisions as far as the basis of the meal, those other little things are not as important. And if you're keeping things tight 80, 90, 95% of the time, that one meal is not going to, it's not going to cause you to have a heart attack. It's not going to cause you to have a stroke. It's not going to cause you to put back on 70 pounds. Only if you step off of the blueprint and step back into the life, the food that you were eating before you went on the blueprint, is that kind of thing going to happen. Because, and not the stroke and the heart attack necessarily right away, but the pounds will start to come back on. I proved that last year when I went off of the blueprint and went back to the standard American diet, and started eating out, having fast food, and not making meals at home nearly as often, and doing those kinds of things. And it just let everything go, and the pounds came back, and the pounds came back, and the pounds came back. And next thing I knew, I had put back on 38 pounds out of 55, or 34 pounds, or whatever it was. It was 30 plus pounds in a short period of time. So step 10 and the steps moving forward are going to be about, how do we reintegrate into society? How do we keep things going? How do we to continue this healthy journey? And maybe the weight loss slows down a little bit, and maybe we reach our goal weight and decide that we're happy there. Or maybe we need to continue and we need to keep things at bay a little bit longer. But it's making those determinations and not necessarily rewarding yourself, because you don't want to go to the gym, work out, burn 200 calories and have a 2,000 calorie pizza. That doesn't make any sense. So it's about resuming some of the lifestyle and being able to go out to dinner with friends and being able to indulge in that meal or 2 or 3 a month, maybe one meal a week, depending on how you continue to feel and how you continue to do, and making those healthier choices when you're in those situations, and testing out those well-worn grooves of fiber, healthy fat, and protein. And also trying to stick to the king, prince, pauper principle, which in America traditionally dinners are very heavy, very big, and trying to make that your tapas meal. So maybe you do the out meal with your spouse or your significant other, or with your friends or whatever, as a lunch or a breakfast. Heck, meet for breakfast and have your meal that way. But you have to start stepping back into some things in a controlled fashion. And that's what step 10 is all about. And it's also about finding some other ways to exercise. And if you've hung out this long, this is going to be a neat little key for you. I've had a friend recommend this website to me, and it's completely free. They do ask for donations. And hey, anybody who's bringing something completely free, asking for donations, like, buy me a coffee if you got value from this, you can't fault them for doing that. They're not charging a membership. They're not one of these apps that you have to pay $27.99 a month and they give you a program or whatever. But anyways, the website is called Darebee. I'm sorry, DAREBEE.com. I will link it in the description below. They have all kinds of programs for simple things. I am starting with, you can look them up, it's called Epic Arms and Epic Glutes. And what I'm doing is I'm doing those on alternating days. I'm doing the Epic Arms one day and the Epic Glutes another day. And they're not hard. You don't need any weights. It's all body weight stuff. They do have some programs in there that are, different things, but I had looked and looked and looked through their stuff and I was like, you know what? These are simple. They're easy. They're body weight exercises. Let's just keep the movement going. And I'm continuing to work on walking and stuff like that. So, step 10, while we're reintroducing some things out in the outside world, so to speak, we also want to be getting our walk in and then deciding, hey, what do I need? What do I want to work on? And maybe looking at Darebee and finding out, hey, do I want to work on my arms a little bit? Because I've got some, skin hanging down here. So I want to work on my arms a little bit. And I want to work on my glutes and the upper part of my legs, because walking gets your calves and your quads and your hamstrings all involved, and a little bit in the glutes and a little bit in the hips, but it's not as much. I've also introduced doing a little bit of a jog, maybe 100 feet, 150 feet, something like that, once or twice during the course of my walk, which my dog really enjoys because she loves to run. And it's not a fast run. It's just a little jogging, just something to get the heart rate going a little higher than the walking is doing. And it's not, a 2-hour run or anything like that, or a mile run, or it's just a light jog to add to the walking. And I go maybe 100, 150 feet and I stop. I'm still dealing, they're way better, but I'm still dealing with arthritic knees. So, I don't want to put too much. And of course, the knee injury that I had last winter, I just don't want to put too much pressure on it. And granted, losing 70 pounds helps out a lot with the pressure. So it's not nearly as much of an issue at this point in time. But step 10, we need to start thinking about what else can we incorporate that's not going to the gym and beating ourselves up and or whatever, whether it be yoga, whether it be a little bit of Pilates, whether it be, just stretching or more push-ups or jumping jacks or mountain climbers or whatever it is. Let's just start to think about what we can add to our exercise program little by little. We don't do big things here, so we do things in small bites that are easy to accommodate and add those kinds of things in. Oh, excuse me. But that's where we're at, guys. That's step 10. Reintroduce yourself to society, but do it in a smart way. Don't go hitting the drive-through every single day. Don't say, oh, I've lost 70 pounds and I've still got so much more time to go. Because it's October 1st as I'm recording this. So I still have all of October, all of November, all of December, all of January, all of February, all of March, and half of April to go to lose these last 20 brain fart, 27 pounds, 27 and a half pounds. I forget what it is. I did the calculation this morning. Anyways, I'll put the update video out as well for the monthly update. It'll be primarily weight loss because September I just didn't get a whole lot of other stuff done between setting up the truck and doing all these kinds of things. But I hope you hung out for this long. I hope you're getting value from this Blueprint series and the Fat Loss After 50 podcast. I hope to be bringing some other stuff once the steps are all done. I hope to maybe be able to bring some people on and talk to them about their ideas about the Blueprint, about some ideas that they have that may be different from the Blueprint, just to offer more and more to you guys in terms of value and continue to keep it free. So in the spirit of keeping it free, here's my pitch. Buy me a coffee, hop over, scan the QR code, hit the link down below. Buy me a coffee, buy me 3, buy me 5, buy me 10, whatever it is you feel you're getting value out of this. And the thing I always think of is that I have spent thousands on diet pills and diet programs throughout the course of my life, and nothing has worked this well. That's why I want it to be free. So if you can donate to me, I would appreciate it. I will keep it free. As always, remember to subscribe. You got to subscribe in order to see all the good stuff coming up. This is going to be a long-term channel. Give me the old thumbs up, whether it's the weight loss, whether it's the debt reduction, which hasn't been going very well lately, or it is the moving to Spain that you want to know about. I'm going to bring it all to you, and I'm going to keep as much of it as I can free. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. And until next time, come along for the journey, because it's going to be one hell of a journey. Hasta luego.